What's going on, gamers? Got an interesting video here following up the recent success of Forza Horizon 6 on Steam, which obviously we talked about this before. Sony being able to get a chart weekly showing how many players were playing that game is going to be nice because that's another metric we have outside of Steam's metrics, which is showing Forza Horizon 6 peaking at 300,000 players in the last 24 hours, which is actually pretty good when you think about Steam. But here's the thing I gotta say, and that's PlayStation success. I think when it comes to PlayStation, you'll probably see up to 1 million active players, and that the PlayStation version is gonna sell more than the Steam version and the Xbox version put together. Though it will come later, because on PlayStation, you have a huge racing community. PC has grown for racing as well, no doubt about that, but PlayStation still has the biggest racing community. Definitely when you look at the European base, because they love their racing. Japan as well, you know, Initial D, come on. Which is actually based off of real life locations. If y'all didn't know about that, if you haven't seen the anime, you better go watch it. Best racing show you ever watch ever. Nothing comes even close. Music is off the charts. So here's the thing. These numbers are pretty good. This gives you the idea too that the success of Forza being multi-platform is not an option. It's something that has to happen. Obviously, they can't go back exclusive. We've already talked about this multiple times in multiple videos. I've covered that enough so people can understand it. Unless something else comes up, I'm like, really? We got to play this game again? But right here, L Gamer says, Forza Horizon 6 brutal success reaches a new milestone of simultaneous players on Steam with nearly 3,000 players and has been in the top 1 of best selling for 2 weeks with early access and all that, and a little bit before early access. If you go down here on the Steam charts, you see an 81.27% rating. I think there's probably some bugs and other things going on. And 24-hour peak, 298,000. All-time peak, 298,000. So pretty much 300,000 people, right? Which is actually pretty good. And if you think this is good, wait till it drops on PlayStation. I'm telling you right now, it's instantly going to sell a few million. And the success of the PlayStation within a month or two is going to beat Steam and Xbox combined damn near. If not, it'll do it more in the long term. Definitely when it starts going on sale in the future. You can guarantee that. It's doing very well on Steam though. Like I think it at least sold like 2 or 2.5 million on Steam. And probably like 1.5 million on Xbox or something. I know this game probably is at like 3.5 million, maybe 4 million sales. So there's no doubt that it'll get its 5 million sales across both platforms. I think it could hit 2 million on Xbox and hit 3 million on Steam before dropping on PlayStation. I've seen the Alina analytics, but you know, I can't really take that as factual evidence. I think when a franchise like this is doing well too, because according to them, it sold 6 million. I'm like, I would have to see that. You know what I mean? Not that I would think that'd be a bad thing. I think that's great, but I'm thinking at least 4 million probably at the moment. When you think about all the stacked up pre-orders on Steam and Xbox before it launched, it already had like 1 million or 1.5 million. And then as the official launch got here with Game Pass, because this is a game, like I said, it doesn't matter whether it's there or not, it's going to sell because people want to own this type of game. It probably at least sold 4 million, no doubt about that already. And I think between Steam and Xbox for the PlayStation version launches, which I don't think is going to be that far off from now, they can get to 5 million, possibly 6 million, of course. And then when PlayStation launches, it's going to go right to 10 million. So this game is going to sell 10 million copies this year, no doubt about that. The PlayStation version is going to be juggernaut. And the Europeans are going to be all over it. America's going to be all over it. Japan will support it as well. And I think Microsoft should try to work on a Switch 2 version for 5 and 6, or just don't bother with 5 on the Switch 2 unless you want to do both. And put that over there. It will do well in Japan and they will support it. You'll get a couple 100,000 sold. And maybe more over time. I'm just saying, you're thinking about publishing, you could still keep both floating and being successful for a while. Get that version going. If it's you got it run on the Series S, you can easily do that on the Switch too, no problem. With DLSS, which is better than FSR on console, the ones that they're using, unless you have the PSSR 2. You get what I mean? So if you think about that, there's a lot of potential still for this franchise, and it can still go very far, and you can get millions of copies sold on the Switch too. Why would you not do that, right? But PlayStation is the ground where it's going to be massive. So there's a lot of potential for this game, and this is where Microsoft can become a strong publisher. And I'm telling you right now, when that PlayStation version comes and you get the PSSR 2 gameplay, make sure that's fully optimized. Watch how amazing it's going to look and how it's going to sell. It's instantly going to top the charts, and there's no doubt about this. So the Asha Zoe Charmer says, wait, they sold 6 million, only 300 are seen playing at most. That's where I say that I don't know. We're going to have to see about that. You can't trust that company because they're not 100% accurate, but at least they're trying to do something. Because Microsoft's not saying anything, you know what I mean? Because then if you do that, you're like, well, then you have to show us everything else. But they're not doing that. Sony even shows select sales on some of their games. That's why are you hiding your numbers? Just put them out there. So going back, this is where I first found out about it. If you go over to the Today News, it's trending right here. Forza Horizon 6 hits record 299K Steam players days after launch. Forza Horizon 6 launched on May 19th for Xbox, PC, and Game Pass, drawing over 6 million players in its first week with a franchise record 298,000. And that's the thing. If it sold 6 million copies, they wouldn't say 6 million players. That was including Game Pass. That's how I knew that Alina Analytics is kind of slow, because it's like, why would Microsoft project 6 million players, but you're trying to project 6 million sales? I think if you had 6 million sales, the Game Pass numbers would succeed the 6 million. That would have said, welcome 7 million or 8 million players. They already said 7 million already. Players. Have they said that? No. So what are we talking about here? It's like, that just literally makes me want to discredit them again, because it's like, what are you doing? It's like, yeah, you're being kind of slow here. So that's the peak concurrent on Steam, which is obviously going to be higher than Xbox, because Steam doesn't have Game Pass on it, though you have the Game Pass option on PC as well. So that tripled Forza Horizon 5's high. Critics gave it a 91 and 92 Medic. 2026 top-rated game so far, with Pokemon Pokepia and Resident Evil in them. Praising JDM cars, seasonal changes, and activities like barn finds. Online chaos reigns with villainous Drivatar Bowie Knife 99 ramming rivals, while voice actor Roger Clark called it polished, fun, and beautiful amid modding and giveaways. So down here, you're not really getting that, but you could find the Steam peak, because I showed you that in that last post. That's why I kind of pulled that up. But guys, once again, like I was saying, if you think about the success that it has right now, it's one of those games that can get that success, as we saw with Forza Horizon 5, and still come to PlayStation later and sell millions. This is going to sell more. And that went on sale. I'm telling you. And you got to think about the Japanese setting as well. It's going to be excellent. I can't wait to see how this game truly peaks when it's available on PlayStation 5, PC, and Xbox, and then we're going to see the real numbers combined together, and then come with that Switch 2 version. Microsoft, this is something you have to do. It's not that hard to do. I told them to optimize it for Switch 2. They're probably doing that already, and then have it available in the holidays in Japan. Hey, I'm just saying, it's going to do even more numbers. Then you can keep the numbers going. You see? Because Japan's not a GTA 6 nation. You could still not worry about that and have that going in that sense. So I want you guys to let me know what you think about this. Do you think that Forza Horizon 6, when it launches on PlayStation 5, that in the first month is going to be able to pick up something like 4 to 5 million by itself, beating the aligned first month of Steam and Xbox combined together? Or do you think that it'll take a little bit longer for them to reach those numbers? Either or, I know 3 million is easily going to happen. And that's where you get the idea that as a publisher, why would you pass up that publishing power just to make something exclusive and lose that much money? If it's a $70 game and you have early access for like 100 and something, 70 times 3, you kind of get what I mean? That's 210 million. Plus early access and all of that stuff, you could potentially make 250 million straight up on PlayStation. You think they're going to pass that up? Guys, they already paid for the Activision lawsuit with that. They made back the money doing it there. You see how you have to be thinking like that? Because if not, then what are you doing here? And there's no way Satya's going to say no to that. No, it's there. It has to happen. This is where Xbox can look and be powerful in a sense. And it's going to have to be teaming up with PlayStation, your biggest rival of all time. that beat you. But you have to look past that from a business standpoint. And these new suits, these new AI people, they don't give a damn about any of that. They want those results. They know that the platforming rival war between hardware devices is over in that sense. And it's really about, let's make the most money and have our games available to as many players as possible. This is the route, and this is where we have to go. You can sit there and say, hear you all you want, and sit there and beg her all you want. But the point is that you need PlayStation. And you're going to be working together, and that's where people need to learn how to be mature. Because if the companies are saying it and they realize that's where the most money is at, and you're in a sinkhole, you have to make all this back. You don't have a choice. You're going to have to accept that. And then you're going to have to realize, wait, if I really love this franchise, why would I not want to see it sell more and do better and see other players enjoy it? This is the best way to look at it. And that's why I say that Phil Spencer already had everything going the right way. This is what you have to do. And this is where you can get more money and more funds to continue funding other IPs so they can make stuff like Fable and everything else, rather than being in a rut and getting laid off, which I don't think they would do that to Playground, because that's one of the best devs in the industry now. Definitely if they get, at least from a racing standpoint, and just development and consistently, because they're consistently hitting 90 plus, so you have to give them credit. Definitely if they get Fable to be 85 plus on the meta and be a really good game, then it's like, whoa, you stepped out of a category you've never done and you've made it better. That's going to say a lot. And that's coming to PlayStation Day 1, as we saw as well. So whether you like it or not, Playground needs PlayStation, and they know this. Because the Fable devs coming out saying that are still Playground saying it. There's no beating this. So like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Become a member if you want. Leave a tip down below. Once again, let me know what you think about Forza getting ready to come to PlayStation. What do you think about the $299K on Steam, tripling Forza Horizon 5's high peak? It just gives you the idea that this franchise is growing, and it's about to grow more when it hits PlayStation. And hopefully there's a Switch 2 port coming as well, because why would you not want to take it to the highest peak? Go for the highest that you can as a publisher. Get ready for that. Later, y'all. Keep on gaming no matter what platform you're on.